Hi, I'm Amanda Rhine and I own Discover Happy Pilates Studio in downtown Decorah. I'm a Pilates instructor, but I also have a background working with children, a degree in child development, and I'm going to introduce a couple of breathing techniques to you today that will help with de-stressing and helping build a little bit of mental calm and focus. So one of the first things that we'll start with is breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And this is just a technique that we use with Pilates specifically. It's not intentional just for you to use every time. You can go with a more subdued yoga breath that goes more internal, where you breathe in and out of your nose. And that will help you feel more calm when your heartbeat level is a little bit higher. But if you're looking to actually feel the movement of your lungs, I would go with a more active inhale and exhale, making it audible and making it more vivid inside of your body, meaning you could feel it. So one of the things I'll have you guys do is start with your hands touching the side of your ribs so you can feel the movement going deeper than just into your belly. Our lungs move up and down, and they also move side to side, but they also have fibers that spindle forward too. So your breath just doesn't go up and down with the diaphragm, it goes all four corners of your body. And sometimes tightness in the ribs and tightness in the back can prevent you from getting a deeper breath. So just taking a couple of moments to feel the breath going a little bit deeper into all sides is really relaxing, and it gets you to focus in on how you're feeling and even how to challenge and calm yourself a little bit. So you breathe in and you feel the ribs moving into the fingers, and then you exhale, gently pulling away from the fingers. Nothing deeply engaging when you're trying to relax, not like in a Pilates class where we're trying to find muscles, but you breathe in again and out. And I would probably try to do that at least 5 to 8 times just to feel the breath moving. And then you can take your hands to the front of your rib cage and think about moving the air to the back of your lungs. So you would take your hands here, which is your xiphoid process, or where your ribs come together, and you'll breathe in and out. And then again, in and out. And then try to push the air into your hands and out. And if you want to make it progressive, you can try to eventually bring the air into all sides of your body, thinking about the air coming into the back, into the ribs, and then into the front. And that's a good way when you're feeling anxious to just find out how you can tap into bringing more oxygen into your body, to allowing yourself to feel a little bit calmer. If you feel like the out breath through the mouth is a little bit too active and it's not helping you to decrease levels of anxiety and stress, then I would continue moving the breath in and out of your nose, just because it helps keep things a little bit more internal. Another breath that you can use is just counting, which it would start with maybe counting to 7 to breathe in and counting to 5 to breathe out. And then you would slowly transition that to challenging yourself to doing a longer out breath and a shorter in breath. So you would count to eventually getting into inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, and then out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just to make sure that you get enough oxygen in and out of your body. That hold too can increase to continue to allow you to feel like you have some control with your breath. It also is It's very meditative. It allows you to get to the point where you are focusing in on how you control your body. And that's really where we want to focus when things are feeling a little bit out of control in the world around us, which is what causes a lot of anxiety and stress. So if you start to notice your heart rate getting higher, your tension in your shoulders getting worse, especially painful, I would take some time to either focus on either one of those breaths, the counting, the breathing in deeply, finding it going deep into your diaphragm, into your posterior body, your lateral body, and even your anterior rib cage. I have a prop today that you can pick up either at my studio or at Donlan's or online, whatever you feel like. This is called a Sanct band. You can also find a TheraBand. I know that they are at Walmart as well. You probably want to find a lighter one when you're working with breath. The thicker ones are not going to be helpful because we want to actually move the band, right? So if it's too thick, your ribs won't be able to move it. So what I do with this is to get some feedback. Sometimes if we're just laying on the ground, gravity will pull us down into the floor and we can't move our backs very well when we're breathing. So what you could do is use this to start giving you some tactile feedback of how you're moving your breath. And that again draws attention to the body, into self, into bringing oxygen in and helping you feel a little bit more calm. So I take this band and I wrap it around that same area, which is your posterior ribs and your xiphoid or your solar plexus, whatever makes you more content. And then we cross it in the front. And I want to not over squeeze it, but just pull it apart enough to where I feel like it's tight, like a really tight belt. And so if I do any type of work from here, I can feel that it is wrapping my body really tight. So when I breathe, every time I move my lungs or I think of the intention of moving my lungs, I can feel the feedback in the rubber, in the band. So I'm going to keep my elbows close and not here, because we're already stressed at this point, right? Or we're maybe practicing yoga or Pilates and we don't want our shoulders tight into our neck. So we want to decrease the shoulders by keeping the elbows down next to your side, touching your ribs if you can. If they're really tight, that might not be possible. That might still be happening, but at least you're aiming for it, right? So we're going to start with your in-breath again. So you breathe in through your nose. And when you exhale, you tighten the band. So the band starts to mimic what's happening internally, which is your diaphragm releasing and contracting. So you breathe in and then exhale. And then release the band a little. And then exhale. And then I can hold it tight. And then I start to think about moving in my breath just to one side or the other, which is a really fun mental challenge, and it also gives really great feedback of which side of your lungs you might be moving more, which side of the lungs need more oxygen, which side of the body is a little bit tighter in the musculature. So if you want to do that, it's great to do it with the band or just touching the side of your ribs with your fingers, and then you have to think about breathing directly in through that nostril into that lung. So that's a really fun activity to do too. There's another breath that you can use where you make noises, where you can go sometimes the audible noise or the force of lifting the tongue to the back of the teeth can get breath to go into different areas. So if that's another one you wanted to use, I find that very helpful when it comes to movement. Also when it comes to just drowning out the things that are around you and being a little bit more focused on where you are in your breath, intentionally coming in and out of your body. That is all I have to offer you today when it comes to breath work. If you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me, discoverhappy@gmail.com, and my website is www.discoverhappydecora.com. Thank you so much.